So I got a question from Nevishek. They were getting an error when they were trying to get the P/E ratio for a particular stock. One thing I thought of is maybe that they might have gotten that error if that particular stock had the same ticker but on a different exchange. So if you do get that error, maybe you can first try that out and specify what exchange you're trying to pull it from. In this case, with NASDAQ, you just put the exchange and then the ticker. But that didn't seem to work, so I looked online for Google to see what they had as the P/E ratio. So this is the card. I just searched up the stock, and then it gave me back this card, and you can see here that okay, there's no P/E ratio for it, and that's probably why it wasn't giving the NA. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it has negative earnings then. And then I searched up on Yahoo Finance to see, is it kind of make sure that's the case, what the earnings are, and whoa, they have a P/E ratio. So I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Why is that the case? Why is Google Finance not giving that information? So I searched it up a little bit, and it seems like just in general, for non-US exchanges, Google Finance has some variability in getting information back or calculating the information and storing it and then using it in the function for the sheets. So I'm thinking one way around this then is just to pull in the information from Yahoo Finance. If you want the P/E ratio, just pull it in. But then I thought, okay, that might be kind of useless because then you have to do it on a case-by-case basis. So, and instead of just pulling in everything here, might as well just pull everything from the statistics tab. The statistics tab has a lot more information, as you can see. Yeah, just a whole bunch of information that's unique that you can use more so for comparisons rather than just the P/E ratio. So that's what I did. If you go to the link, I'll link this in the description below or in the description wherever it is, for the Google Finance sheet that I created in my last video. So if you watch that one, you'd understand what these tabs are, what they mean, how I got to them. And basically what I did is the same method as the video on my Yahoo options, or in the options video that I made using Yahoo Finance data, was to basically use the IMPORTXML function, concatenate, and the string for whatever source that I want to use it from, and then inputting the dynamic points in there, and then kind of scraping the table information from that page. So kind of like a web scraper in a way. So the way I did that was to first get the table rows, same method as before, capture the table rows for the headers, and then each individual data piece for those. So all these are functions. Anything in yellow is a function, and then right here is just returning back the two column or the two rows because it's getting the header and then the data point itself. Yeah, and why I do it this way is because then you can use a VLOOKUP function, which is this column what I have here, and then you can look up any of these fields and then add it to whatever sheet you want to, if you want to do like another comparison somewhere else. And the reason I broke out this column here from this column, kind of have it like redundant, you could see in this case, the URL for Yahoo, they have it structured in a different way. So if I type in ITC, it'll give me an error in Yahoo Finance side. But if I type in ITC NS, which is basically if I were to put that in my transactions or put it anywhere in here that uses a Google Finance function, I'll get an error because the way they structure it is by using the exchange colon and then the ticker symbol. So it's just different structure. That's why you have it in two different formats here in the Yahoo sheet. One is Google, one is Yahoo. And this one is used for the query itself to pull the information. So that's why I use it for that. But you can see you're getting back a lot of information here to do the comparisons. You could do, but you can have it in this way by comparing, just the stocks you have, or you can have it kind of like a watch list by having stocks that you are considering of purchasing, and then just having it as a comparison that way. Or you can even do it by industry, have a group of stocks that are kind of in a similar industry, and then just, go through them and just compare on each of these categories that are here, or attributes that are here. You can see here that I have an error and it's giving back some really funky data, be mindful of that, because whatever you put in here, it will give you whatever the table is on whatever that sheet is for those attributes. So here it should be, I think, AAPL for Apple. You have to type it in 2 ways, yeah, just to do the reference, and that'll give you, the right Apple information. But yeah, just be mindful of that, and that kind of goes back to this whole ITC-NS thing, or where you have one lookup and one Yahoo way, one Google way. So just make sure. And if you're unsure about that particular stock and what to type in here, you can just go to the Yahoo Finance page, type in whatever stock you want, say like Hasbro, and look right here. However they categorize it here is what you want to put in for this field. So you can see, if I go back to NIS, you can see that it says ITC.NS, right? .NS in the URL, so that's why it's here, .NS in this field here. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for this. One quick note: if you want to make a copy of this and to edit or to save on your own, just go to File, Make a Copy. You don't need to request or anything like that. You just make a copy, and then I'll make a copy to your own drive. Then you can edit it all you want. So you don't need to, you don't need to be this guy, basically. What else? Oh yeah, and for another piece, somebody had a question on calculating cost basis. That's not something that I'm gonna try to do here, because there's a lot to take into consideration there with splits, first in, first out, and I think it's just a kind of a messy calculation that could be wrong. So I think it's better just to have it as a user input, because whatever platform or broker it's system you're using, most likely will give you a cost basis in there as one of their line items. So you can just type that in. I think that's just the easiest approach to do. So it just saves me some headache, save you some headache. So as to validating my calculation. So I think that's just the best way to approach it. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have. If you have any more questions, let me know, and I hope this helps. Thanks.